Prince Harry makes first appearance since bombshell biography claims to urge the travel industry to build back better in a speech for a virtual summit for his sustainable tourism project Travelist. The Duke of Sussex has made his first appearance since claims from his bombshell biography were published. Prince Harry, 35, appeared via video link from Los Angeles today to deliver the opening speech at a virtual global summit for his sustainable tourism project Travelist. In the address, the royal urged the travel industry to build back better after COVID-19, saying it has a responsibility to reshape the way we travel. It is the first time Harry has been seen since the Sussex's biography, Finding Freedom, was serialized by The Times and The Sunday Times. The book lays bare the rift between Prince Harry, Meghan Markle and the rest of the royal family. Harry spoke live from Los Angeles on Wednesday night to coincide with the start of the first summit session, which started on Thursday morning at 7 a.m. BST. A second session for viewers in EMEA and the Americas will take place later today. He said in his opening speech, "Many of you joining us today rely on visitors for your livelihoods. Businesses are hurting significantly, and I've heard from some of you who are currently struggling to put food on your family's tables and make ends meet because there are no tourists and therefore no income. We need to build back, but we need to build back better. And that means there's a responsibility we cannot avoid or dismiss, for us to reshape this industry in a way that benefits everyone and everything for decades to come." He continued, "Before the pandemic unfolded, we witnessed more and more young people expressing an interest in authentic travel experiences and an ability to partake in trips that are greener, that allow them to support local communities, uphold heritage and protect destinations and cultures. This is the future of travel, and a future that Travelist is here to support and catalyze." Harry launched Travelist last autumn, co-founding it with leading brands Booking.com, Skyscanner, TripAdvisor, Trip.com and Visa, and it now operates as an independent non-profit organization based in the UK. Finding Freedom authors Omid Scobie and Carolyn Duran claim relations between the Sussexes and the Cambridges grew so bitter that by March the couples were barely speaking. Scobie and Duran have spoken to more than 100 sources including close friends of Harry and Meghan's, royal aides and palace staff, past and present, with all the information in the book having at least 2 sources. The Duke and Duchess deny giving any interviews or contributing to the book directly, but the intimate nature of some details raises questions over who the sources were. The explosive biography has claimed Prince Harry and Meghan Markle hurt the Queen by unilaterally mapping out their future royal roles without her approval. Her Majesty is said to have been blindsided by the launch of the Sussex royal website which accompanied their Megxit announcement in January. There are also fears the book's publication could spark a fresh rift within the royal family. The Duke, who now lives in Los Angeles with Meghan and their son Archie after the couple stepped down as working royals, made no mention of the book's publication when he spoke at the virtual summit. Next news, Zara Tindall's cutting comment to Harry at wedding that could have upset Eugenie. Princess Eugenie's cousins Prince Harry and Zara Tindall had some of the best seats in the house when she married Jack Brooksbank. The royal family joined Jack's relatives for the televised service at St. George's Chapel in October 2018, smiling on with pride as the couple said "I do." However, as Zara took her seat she made a passing comment to Harry which could have caused some upset. She was seen leaning back to say a few words to Harry about his own wedding to Meghan Markle, which had taken place a few months before. According to a Mirror Online lip reader, she told the parents, "It's very quiet compared to the screaming at your wedding." In response, he asked, "Mine?" Meghan and Harry and Eugenie and Jack picked the same wedding venue for their special day, but they were very different occasions. Despite Harry being more senior than his younger cousin, Eugenie actually had more guests, with Prince Andrew saying this was because his daughter had so many friends. Both guest lists were filled with celebrity guests, with George and Amal Clooney, Oprah Winfrey and the Beckhams joining the royals for the Sussex's big day. Meanwhile, Ellie Goulding, Cara Delevingne, Demi Moore, and Naomi Campbell were at Eugenie's. Eugenie was reportedly upset at her wedding when Meghan told members of the family she was pregnant. The couple told the world they were expecting their first child on the eve of their royal tour of Australia and New Zealand, but shared the happy news with close family at the evening reception. In their book Royals at War, investigative journalists Dylan Howard and Andy Tillett claim Meghan made the decision to tell people, and it didn't go down well with Harry. They claim that it left the Duke of Sussex embarrassed, and Princess Eugenie and her mum Sarah Ferguson furious. They write, "Meghan put her foot in it when she decided that it would be the ideal moment to announce that she and Harry were expecting their first child. This was a huge social gaffe, even if you were not a royal, stealing the limelight from Eugenie, who was furious, as was her mother, Sarah. Next news, Prince Harry warns of crisis due to no tourists and therefore no income. Prince Harry said communities around the world are struggling to put food on the table because there are no tourists, during a plea to build back better. The Duke of Sussex, 35, described the impact of coronavirus on parts of the world that depend on travel while also warning wildlife is being wiped out. He called for a drive to advance economic progress in a way that is just, during a summit for his ecotourism venture Travelist today. The prince said, "None of us here could have predicted the global shock and impact that COVID-19 is having on the world, especially on travel and the local communities who depend on tourism. Many of you joining us today rely on visitors for your livelihoods. Businesses are hurting significantly, and I've heard from some of you who are currently struggling to put food on your family's tables and make ends meet because there are no tourists and therefore no income. We need to build back, but we need to build back better." The royal family itself has also not been immune from the collapse of tourism, with the charity that runs royal residences facing mass layoffs. The Royal Collection Trust is facing a predicted $38 million loss due to the decline in visits to Queen Elizabeth II's palaces and galleries. Non-profit Travelist aims to encourage sustainable tourism, and the prince claimed research suggests young people are willing to pursue green options on trips abroad. He spoke from Tyler Perry's $18 million Los Angeles mansion where he has been living with Meghan Markle and baby Archie. The couple have been criticized for their use of private jets while working to tackle climate change. He told this summit he wants to reshape this industry in a way that benefits everyone and everything for decades to come. He added, "Destinations are under immense pressure, they're suffering significant damage, communities are struggling, habitats are being destroyed, and wildlife is being driven out, or worse, wiped out. We want to ensure that the industry that recovers is one that supports everyone fairly, one that protects destinations, better supports local communities, and is truly resilient." Before the pandemic unfolded, we witnessed more and more young people expressing an interest in authentic travel experiences and an ability to partake in trips that are greener, that allow them to support local communities, uphold heritage and protect destinations and cultures. This is the future of travel, and a future that Travelist is here to support and catalyze. Anti-monarchy group Republic has reported 2 of the prince's past charities to a watchdog over payments to Travelist. The Charities Commission is still considering whether to launch a formal investigation. Next news, here's why Harry blamed the Queen's dresser after Meghan Markle was refused her first choice of wedding tiara. Just over 2 years ago, we were all watching Prince Harry and Meghan Markle get married in St. George's Chapel. Who can forgive the moment we saw the Claire Waite-Keller designed dress, the veil embroidered with flowers representing each of the Commonwealth countries, and the glittering Queen Mary lozenge tiara? But the picture could have been very different if Meghan had her way, according to The Sun. Rumor has it that Meghan had her heart set on a very different tiara for her wedding day, one that featured emeralds, but Harry and Meghan were told that was impossible as no one knew where the tiara came from, and that it could possibly be Russian. "What Meghan wants, Meghan gets," came Prince Harry's response to staff, apparently causing the Queen herself to become involved in the negotiations. These rumors come from a book by reporter Robert Jobson, with a well-placed royal insider claiming Meghan had her heart set on the tiara with emeralds and Prince Harry hit the roof when they were told it was impossible for her to wear it, according to The Sun. The provenance of the tiara could not be established. There were concerns it could have come from Russia originally. There was a very heated exchange that prompted the Queen to speak to Harry. She said, "Meghan cannot have whatever she wants. She gets what tiara she's given by me." Now, however, a new book, Finding Freedom, adds more detail to the story. A new report in The Sun states new claims, that Harry felt the Queen's dresser, Angela Kelly, was deliberately dragged her feet during the process. There were other disputes over what Meghan wore. Robert's book also added that there was a discussion concerning the veil. Tradition would not necessarily dictate one as required for someone who has already been married. The Queen also questioned why Meghan needed a veil for the wedding, given it was to be her second marriage, the book claims. The message from the Queen was very much Meghan needed to think about how she speaks to staff members and be careful to follow family protocols. Next news, Prince Harry's passion and plea to travel industry at virtual summit. The Duke of Sussex has made his first appearance since revelations from royal biography Finding Freedom were published. Prince Harry, 35, joined a virtual global summit for his sustainable tourism project Travelist on Thursday. Speaking by video link from his Los Angeles home that he shares with wife Meghan and 1-year-old son Archie, the Duke urged the travel industry to build back better after the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. Harry said in his opening speech at the summit, "Many of you joining us today rely on visitors for your livelihoods. Businesses are hurting significantly, and I've heard from some of you who are currently struggling to put food on your family's tables and make ends meet because there are no tourists and therefore no income. We need to build back, but we need to build back better. And that means there's a responsibility we cannot avoid or dismiss, for us to reshape this industry in a way that benefits everyone and everything for decades to come." The Duke launched Travelist last September alongside Booking.com, Skyscanner, Trip.com, TripAdvisor and Visa, with the ambition to change the impact of travel for good, and it now operates as an independent non-profit organization based in the UK. He attended a working summit in Edinburgh in February. Harry continued, "Before the pandemic unfolded, we witnessed more and more young people expressing an interest in authentic travel experiences and an ability to partake in trips that are greener, that allow them to support local communities, uphold heritage and protect destinations and cultures. This is the future of travel, and a future that Travelist is here to support and catalyze." Excerpts from Finding Freedom written by Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand were serialized in the Times last weekend. Revelations include sweet details from Harry and Meghan's first date, how Meghan relaxed before her wedding in May 2018 and Harry's thoughtful gifts for Prince George and Princess Charlotte. A spokesperson for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex previously told, "The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were not interviewed and did not contribute to Finding Freedom. This book is based on the author's own experiences as members of the Royal Press Corps and their own independent reporting."
Welcome to Harry.
We want to hear truths and perspectives from across the industry. We know that we do not need to reinvent the wheel. A lot of great work has already been done, but our research again shows that many of these endeavours have failed to scale or reach the consciousness of consumers. We have to work together with partners, experts, operators, communities and others to scale up the good practices already being used around the world. And Scotland is a great example of what we mean. There is a holistic ambition to Scotland's intent that can be adopted across the UK and even around the world. Scotland is one of the fastest growing tourism destinations worldwide, and is at the forefront of a more sustainable approach, which is why your insight into these issues is so incredibly valuable to us.